as soon as I took my first pottery class, I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have my own studio someday, right? So I'm sitting here about 10 years later and like it's happening. And I think I feel a mix of, as I tell my students, a mix of apprehension and excitement, because when people come through my doors to learn pottery, they're usually apprehensive and also excited. I'm Mengchao Wu. My business, Wu Ceramics, has been around since 2021. Very recently, I made a big move. I closed on a house/property in downtown Kitchener on 30 EB Street so that I can create my pottery palace. Over the past 5 years, I've just been acquiring wheels, and these are some 2 old Brents, the kind of wheel that I learned on, that I am restoring. So you didn't see them in the before state, but this is the slightly after state where I've already spent probably tens of hours scrubbing the iron. There's still more iron to scrub, and making sure the components all work. This could be a place for sinks and wheel throwing area and sort of like a private class motif. This could be a future slight cafe space. This could be retail. Honestly, right now, what I'm struggling with is there is so much potential, and how do you settle on what a final space would look like? The first thing I'm going to be doing is a demo. I think future design decisions will be made based off of what we find out. What is my why?
Yeah.
My therapist asks me this, as does my husband. I want a place where I can create the feeling that I had of belonging for other people in the community. I want to create beautiful things. I want people to touch mud. Yeah, those are just the start of why I do this. I want to create connection. I want to create a welcoming space. I want to create beautiful art, everyday art, beautiful everyday art. I also want to make money. That's something else.
I shouldn't have moved there.
I want to have a sustaining career as an artist, and that's really hard to do when all you have is to sell some ceramics. And so a teaching studio is one way to achieve a slightly more independent artist lifestyle. So I'll take you on a tour. This is kind of like the overall floor plan right now, and this is one potential rendering of what we might look at, but again, nothing to be decided yet. This is that front area where I'm facing, this is EB Street right here, and the Kitchener Market is right diagonal to me. When you enter in, there's this front area, and now there's this main floor, which is actually a fairly sizable space. So I'm thinking like hand building tables, maybe areas for wear racks, or even member like pieces to sell, right? I'm thinking wheel area, maybe in this back corner, right? Where I can teach in this like U shape. Back here, I wanna knock this wall down. So we'll see how that works. Back here, I'm thinking this area might be the kiln room, because frankly, it is really annoying, which is what I do in my home studio right now, to go up and down the stairs with very fragile pottery, hoping that you don't trip on the stairs and break everything. So we're gonna come up here to the second floor, and one of the things that I loved about this house was the wood. I do love a solid like wood stairs. So as much as possible, I would like to keep this. And the family used to live up here, so this was really their sort of bedroom and living spaces, but I'm hoping that this is additional art spaces that members who want to have more space can have. This is like probably one of the more light-filled spaces, again facing EB Street with a closet down there. Ooh, that's exciting. I get some free weights, that's pretty fun. You know, part of pottery is you gotta work out. So Gonna do like 20 deadlifts right now for you.
Go ahead.
No thanks. I'm just kidding.
What's going on in there?
This is an area that we have to take away. So it's an enclosed deck sort of situation right now. It is not built to code.
Am I gonna fall through?
I don't think you're gonna fall through,
Okay.
but I wouldn't jump on it, you know.
Okay.
Like there's the roof downstairs, right?
Yeah.
So this is on top of that kiln area.
Don't you just love your popcorn ceiling?
I do not like my popcorn ceilings, and I don't want to keep them. Do you want to come up to my giant attic? There's no light.
Oh, that would be hard to film. To be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
We're going into the attic space. As you can see, this is kind of the entry point. And I'll walk up first.
And then we never heard.
And we
Matthew again.
And then this became a haunted house excursion. You have this building now, right? You've thought about things, but you've never I haven't concretely thought about, oh, this is here, this is there, right? And so I'm in a space of limbo in a sense where I'm not sure where things are gonna go, and I have to start making decisions. This is the time to seek out people who know more than I do, to ask friends who can visualize things, and to do something that I'm not great at, which is ask for help, right? Call on my community and be like, hey, what do you see? What are the potentials? Where are the pitfalls? What should I definitely not do, right? This is the time. I'm trying to give myself a month of this kind of limbo time before diving into, oh, we got to demo this and we got to move. Because I know that once you start moving, it's hard to take back. And I really want to be a little bit more mindful, a little bit more thoughtful in the planning process, so that once everything is like, okay, I have decided, I've already changed my mind 3 times, 5 times, but now I'm finally decided. And then start doing the actual construction, deconstruction, all that stuff. This was a semi-vacant pawn shop in that they weren't really living in it, but they were. And it had a bunch of stuff, like things accumulated for 25, 30 years, as you can imagine what a pawn shop in downtown Kitchener would look like. I think that my first 2 years of operation, I'm gonna be learning a lot. You continue to learn about the space that you take care of, right? And I really think of myself as a steward for this building in a way. One of the things I love about this, I do love these little cabinets. I have one in my own home. This one has some spectacular dinosaur wallpaper, which I don't love as much. But I do like all these little fixtures of a house that's from the vintage of the 1920s, right? So as much as possible, I would like to keep the wood trim, the wooden ceilings, the baseboards, but we'll see. I wish there was AC in this building.
Is that something you're gonna think about?
100%. That's one of the reasons why I'm ripping up all the walls. I'm ripping up all the walls so that I can make sure that it's comfortable in here, that there's like the right kind of ventilation, that there's air conditioning. As much as I've been racked by like anxiety and sleeplessness and just like overall stress, like I have found like 3 new white hairs. I'm reminded that this is a position that I choose to be in. There's an interesting tension here where, in part, this is absolutely a very creative project. But in part, I also have to put on my business hat, right? Where I'm like, I gotta make my mortgage. So from the creative standpoint, I am super excited to turn something that's been a very nebulous dream into reality. Creating what the social atmosphere is like, what the culture of this place is like. In the space of my one lifetime, I've done several careers already, but I find this to be the most fulfilling. I like being my own boss. I want, again, to create a culture of belonging here. And I can't think of a better way to do that for me personally than through my art practice and for my teaching practice, and for bringing people together than a pottery studio like this one. So I think that, again, it feels like a big responsibility. And so I'm like, do I have do I have imposter syndrome? Maybe, right? But do I have overconfidence? Also, absolutely. And can those two coexist? It seems like they are right now. Being a small business owner is not all shits and giggles. It's hard as shit, right? It's really hard. I cry a lot. That's not true, but I cry, and I'm often anxious. And also, I see the potential. I see the why. I can see myself being in here day in and day out, making my own art, helping others, having that, like, you know what I like about going to a studio is that you can learn something. But what I want to do is beyond just having someone come into class every week for 6 weeks and learn something. I want them to get to know the people that they sit next to, the people that are washing the basins in the sink with them. I want them to create lifelong friendships, right? And that, I think, is where I can make a difference. I think I can create an atmosphere where not only is it that they're going to learn something, but that they're going to interact in a deeper way than, oh, hi, my name is Mengchao. I live in downtown Kitchener, right? I want them to go 3 steps beyond that. So really, that's the dream. And pottery is like a way to that connection.